Hi everybody, hope you're having a great day. Wish I were here with you, but I'm in a meeting. So here's what we're going to do today. Real simple, you've already done it before, should be all review for you. So if you take your note sheets out, please, turn to the back of page 3, you will see section P4. So we are going to start with problem number 1. It says find the slope of the line through this point and this point. Slope, you might remember, is denoted with the letter M. M is the letter we use for slope. There are a couple of different definitions for slope. Wish I were there with you so that you could tell me what those definitions are. But certainly, one of the definitions for slope is rise over run. In other words, it's the change in y. Remember, y is the up and down. It's the change in y over the change in x. So, y minus y over x minus x. These letters stand for, okay, if we call this point 1, our first point, then this would be our first x and our first y, and this would be our second x and our second y. So according to the slope formula, to find the slope, I will take 8 minus 2 and divide it by 6 minus negative 1. Y minus y over x minus x. So the slope of this line is 6 over 7. Let's do problem B. Our points are negative 3, 10 and 6, 1. Using exactly the same idea, our slope will be 1 minus 10 over 6 minus negative 3. Y minus y over x minus x. So that slope, very nicely, works out to be negative 9 over 9 or negative 1. Now I want to show you something, because you see it really doesn't matter if I take this as my first point and this as my second, or vice versa. In other words, what if I would have counted this as y2 and this as y1? Well, then my slope would be 10 minus 1, y minus y, over negative 3 minus 6. Now notice what happens. I get 9 over negative 9. I get exactly the same answer. The key is this. One of your points is going to be first and one of them is going to be second. It doesn't matter which one is which. As long as you take second times first and second times first, or second minus first, second minus first. You have to go in the same order. This minus this, or this minus this. It doesn't matter which order, as long as you do it the same way for both variables. Now, part 2. This time, we're going to use exactly the same idea, but this time you have been given only half a point. See, it's missing. And you're told what the slope is. Now remember, how do we find slope? We take y minus y over x minus x. So the slope of these 2 points would be 5 minus 6 over 4 minus x. But they told me that the slope is 3/4. So if I do 5 minus 6, 4 minus x, I'm going to get 3/4. let's simplify this a little bit. 5 minus 6, negative 1. Now, I don't know how much of this you've done, but these are easy to solve. We do what we call cross multiply. So we're going to take this times this, and this times this, and set them equal to each other. So we'll have negative 4 equal to, now be careful on this one, we are taking 3 times the whole shebang. So that will be 12 minus 3x. Now we solve it like a regular equation. So I'll subtract 12 from both sides. I'm out of room, so I'll come up here. We'll subtract 12 from both sides. So I have negative 16 equals negative 3x, and x equals 16 thirds. The negatives do cancel out, so I end up with just 16 thirds. And that's your x coordinate. That was pretty easy, wasn't it? All right, let's try, oh, there's another one. Good, there's another example there. Let's try that one. This is 2b, problem 2b. The points are these, and the slope is this. Now remember, slope is y minus y, so that'll be y minus negative 2 over 1 minus 3. Y minus negative 2, 1 minus 3. And the slope equals negative 2 thirds. Let's clean this up. Y plus 2 over negative 2 equals negative 2 thirds. This becomes y plus 2, and this, of course, is negative 2. So now I have this equation. Remember what we said we were going to do when we had an equation like that? We're going to cross multiply. So I'm going to take 3 times both of these. So that would be 3y plus 6. I'm going to take negative 2 times negative 2, which is 4. So I'll subtract 6 from both sides. So I have 3y equals negative 2, and y equals negative 2 thirds. Pretty slick. Good job. Okay, now, part 3. Now we're actually going to do the nitty-gritty here. We are going to write the equation of a line. I wish I were with you so that you could tell me how you've done this before. There are 2 different strategies. Maybe you've done them both. Maybe you've done only one. But I'm going to ask you to get comfortable with both of them. So you'll notice if you look at part 3, there's a little star. There's problem 3. I'm on page 4 now, page 4 of your note sheet. Problem 3, right at the top, you'll notice the little star, use point slope. And then in part 4, there's a little star that says use slope-intercept. Both of these procedures are going to accomplish the same thing. My objective is to make sure you can do both procedures. So let's see how this works. 3a, here are my 2 points. Oh, sorry about that. Here are my 2 points. Now, in order to write the equation of the line, no matter which strategy you're using, you need to find the slope. So step 1, find the slope. What did I just say step 1 is? Always find the slope. So we just practiced. Here we go. 4 minus 2 over 6 minus negative 1. So the answer is 2/7. My slope is 2/7. Now, if I am using the point slope form, then the format I'm going to use is this. This is called the point slope form, right here. M is slope, and x1 and y1 are one of your 2 points. It doesn't matter which one you use. I prefer to use positives, so I'm going to call this x1, y1. x1, y1. One of your 2 points. It doesn't matter. Don't be confused. One of your points is going to be the one you're going to use. I choose this one. Now I just plug in. So I'm going to take y minus y1 equal to my slope, which unfortunately is often a fraction, times x minus x1. So once again, here is my slope, that goes in here. Here is the point I have chosen to be x1, y1, it goes in there. And now I have the equation y minus 4 equals 2/7 x minus 12/7. Y minus 4 equals 2/7 x minus 12/7. For those of you that are confused, remember, when you multiply 2 fractions, 2/7 times 6/1, you're going to get 12/7. Take top times top, bottom times bottom. Now I'm going to add 4 to both sides. So I have y equals 2/7 x. Now, I have a negative 12/7 and a positive 4. In order to add those, I need to get a common denominator. So I will multiply the top and the bottom of this fraction by 7. So I have negative 12/7 plus 28/7. When I add those together, a negative 12 and a 28, I get 16/7. And there is the answer to the problem. I know you don't like the arithmetic, but we have to be able to deal with it. Unfortunately, they almost all come out that way. Let's try the next one. Here are our 2, oh no, I'm on the wrong problem, sorry. Here are our 2 problems, I'm still on 3. This is 3B, 3-2 and 5-5. Here we go. What's step 1? Always, 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 groupies. Step 1 is find slope. 5 minus 2, 5 minus 3. My slope is 3/2. Now I pick a point. Doesn't matter which one, but one of my points is going to be x1, y1. I use this one. Doesn't matter which one I use? No, but I'm going to use this one. So then using my formula, I'll have y minus 2 equals 3/2 x minus 3. x1 is 3, y1 is 2. So y minus 2 equals 3/2 x minus 9/2. How did I get 9/2? 3/2 times 3/1. 3/2 times 3/1. Top times top, bottom times bottom. Now I'm going to add 2 to both sides. So I have y equals 3/2 x minus 9/2 plus 2. I have to add these together. So I have a negative 9/2 and a 2/1. To add them, I need a common denominator. So I have negative 9/2 plus 4 over 2. Multiplying top and bottom by 2. So my answer is negative 5/2. Y equals 3/2 x minus 5/2. Okay, now we're going to do part 4. All right, don't panic, this is the last section we're doing today. Part 4. And you'll notice that the problem looks exactly the same. The only difference is we're using slope-intercept form. So let me write the problem down. Step 1, exactly the same. Find your slope. 1 minus 5, 4 minus negative 1. 1 minus 5, 4 minus negative 1. Let's see, that would be negative 4 over 5. So my slope is negative 4/5. Now I'm going to use what's called slope-intercept form. I bet you've all seen this before. Y equals mx plus b. M, of course, is the slope. B is the y-intercept for the line. And the y-intercept is the place on the y-axis that the line crosses. We're not graphing right now. Okay. Once again, just like with point slope, once you have found your slope, you pick a point. I'm going to pick this one because I don't like negative numbers. And this is your x and your y. This is your m. Plug it in. So 1 equals negative 4/5 times 4 plus b. This is what I'm plugging it into. Y is 1. M, I found already, negative 4/5. X is 4. So 1 equals, now I'm going to multiply these two together. We've talked about it already today. Let's not be confused. When we multiply two fractions together, it's top times top, bottom times bottom. Negative 16 over 5. Now, I got to get b by itself. So I'm going to add 16/5 over here. So b is going to equal 1 plus 16/5. I'm adding the 16/5 over to this side. So getting a common denominator, 5/5 plus 16/5 is 21/5. So my line is y equals negative 4/5 x plus 21/5. I know these fractions are driving you crazy. They're driving me crazy too, and we don't have a choice. Let's try one more. This is part 4b. Step 1. I wish I could hear you because I hope you're all saying, find the slope. That's what we're going to do. We're going to find the slope. The slope is 2 minus negative 2, y minus y, over 1 minus negative 3, x minus x. Ooh, I think we got lucky. 2 minus negative 2 is 4, and 1 minus negative 3 is 4. So the slope of this line is 1. That's going to make it easy. We're using slope-intercept form in this part. This is slope-intercept form. So pick one of your points. I like this one. So this will become my x and y. One of your points has to become your x and your y. Either use this x and this y, or use this x and this y. No mixing and matching. One or the other. 2 equals 1 times 1 plus b. Y is 2, m is 1, x is 1 plus b. So 2 equals 1 plus b. Subtract 1 from both sides, and b equals 1. So my equation, which has an m of 1 and a b of 1, will be y equals 1x plus 1, or just y equals x plus 1. We'll continue this conversation tomorrow, but for now, that's it. I want you to go ahead and begin your homework at your tables so you can help each other, work through it, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great evening. Oh, and I hope summer reading goes well.